And not true beat the things my ears they hear. Politicians and soldiers making me see. Our country, them one will be here. Them they make like say, them no no. Say now them must spoil our country. So as them they da baru and they go. Now some my people they follow. I'm sorry, I'm sorry for Nigeria. I'm sorry, I'm sorry for Africa. And not true beat the things my ears they hear. Politicians and soldiers making me see. Our country, them one will be here. Them they make like say, them no no. Say now them must spoil our country. So as them they da baru and they go.
is not enough, baby. Come to me, Molo. Love me or you hate me, know me. No mess with me, Molo. NSC 250, come along, titi. Giuseppe's are naughty, in a Maserati.
ìyàwó dáná ṣe rọpò nílé ọkọ síyàwó rẹ̀ dálé nítorí àti jẹun. ìyàwó dáná ṣe rọpò nílé ọkọ síyàwó rẹ̀ dálé nítorí àti jẹun. ọkọ mẹ́jọ ọkọ mẹ́yẹ ọkọ mọ ohun tó yẹ kó ṣe o àìríṣe ló kọkọ nínú. Pàkìdàrí ní ti dá. Ọkọ mẹ́jọ ọkọ mẹ́yẹ ọkọ mọ ohun tó yẹ kó ṣe àìríṣe ló pọ̀ ọkọ nínú. Pàkìdàrí ní ti dá. Ayépadà ròdò di yàrá. Di yàrá padà ó dọ̀bẹ́. Ayépadà ròdò di àdá o. Ayépadà ó dọ̀bẹ́. Ìyàwó rẹ̀ láì lówó. Láyàláyà. Ọmọ rẹ̀ láì lówó. Lọ́mọlọ́mọ. Aya rẹ̀ láì lówó. Láyàláyà. Ọmọ rẹ̀ láì lówó. Lọ́mọlọ́mọ. Olúwa jọ̀wọ́ o, má fa ìlówó bá mi jà, jẹ́ kí n káṣẹ́ lé mi pa. Jọ̀wọ́ o, má fa ìlówó bá mi jà, jẹ́ kí n káṣẹ́ lé mi pa. Ẹ bá mi ṣàmì o. Àṣẹ. Ẹ bá mi ṣàmì ọ̀rọ̀ mi. Àṣẹ. Kí n lówó fi kọ́lé. Àṣẹ. Ra mọ́tò rásìkò. Àṣẹ. Máma jẹ́ fọ́lẹ̀ láyà. Àṣẹ. Má jẹ́ bí ọ̀lẹ lọ́mọ. Àṣẹ. Má fàrùn dá mi lọ́lá. Àṣẹ. Ìrówó fi bẹ́gbẹ́ mu. Àṣẹ. Ìrówó bọ́gbà ṣùpọ̀. Àṣẹ. Ìrówó fi lògbà nílé ayé. Àṣẹ. Àṣírí mi máma tú rí o. Má kò sí tẹ́mi olúwa ọ̀gá ògo. Jẹ́ ń lówó fi ṣe láyé. Ní tèmi tèmi. Jẹ́ ń lówó fi ṣe láyé. Tèmi kì í lọ. Jẹ́ ń lówó fi ṣe láyé. Ilé ayé o. Jẹ́ ń lówó fi ṣe láyé. Má kò sí tẹ́mi olúwa ọ̀gá ògo. Ẹlẹ́ṣin dúdú ẹlẹ́ṣin funfun. Ẹlẹ́ṣin dúdú ẹlẹ́ṣin funfun. Àwẹ̀ o. Bàbá rẹ̀ lẹ́ṣin lẹ́gàn. Àwẹ̀ o. Agogo kó máa ró. Kó máa ró. Kó máa ró. Èmi kì í gbọ́. Kó máa ró. Kó máa ró. Ọ̀pẹ lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ lágogo. Kó máa ró. Kó máa ró. Kó máa ró wẹ́lẹ́. Kó máa ró. Kó máa ró. Ìdáná lẹ́sọ̀lẹ́sọ̀. Kó máa ró. Kó máa ró. Omi àdó. Kó máa ró. Kó máa ró. Lélẹ̀ ní abágbẹ́. Kó máa ró. Kó máa ró. Lákọ̀ bọ́ wọn lákọ̀. Kó máa ró. Kó máa ró. Lákọ̀ bọ́ wọn lákọ̀. Kó máa ró. Bó bá ṣe é ṣe dé tó lè ra. Kó máa ró. Kó máa ró. Nínú mi ló gbọ́dọ̀ sí. Kó máa ró. Kó máa ró. Kó máa ró. Kó máa ró. Yókò kí sábẹ́. Kó máa ró. Kó máa ró. Ẹ dákun kíkú má kọ̀ ká mi kó lè ríran wò. Níṣojú ọ̀tá mi dá mi lọ́lá. Ọ̀tá rí báyọ̀ mi ò rọ̀ lọ́rùn mi ò jẹ́. Níṣojú ọ̀tá mi dá mi lọ́lá. Ṣebí ṣojú ọ̀tá mi ló ṣe dé mi ládé o. Níṣojú ọ̀tá mi dá mi lọ́lá. Kíkú má kọ̀ dá mi kó lè ríran wò. Níṣojú ọ̀tá mi dá mi lọ́lá. Ṣojú ọ̀tá mi dá mi lọ́lá o. Níṣojú ọ̀tá mi dá mi lọ́lá. Wọ́n má béèrè lọ́wọ́ mi wípé níbo lọ́lọ́run bí wà. Níṣojú ọ̀tá mi dá mi lọ́lá. Ṣojú ọ̀tá mi dá mi lọ́lá. Níṣojú ọ̀tá mi dá mi lọ́lá. Kíkú má kọ̀ dá mi o kó lè ríran wò. Níṣojú ọ̀tá mi dá mi lọ́lá. Ṣojú ọ̀tá mi o dá mi lọ́lá. Níṣojú ọ̀tá mi dá mi lọ́lá. Gbogbo rẹ̀ tó ń ṣe fún mi lójoojúmọ́ o mò ń dúpẹ́ o. Níṣojú ọ̀tá mi dá mi lọ́lá. Ọ̀tá ní báyọ̀ mi o lọ́run mi ò jẹ́ ó darí. Níṣojú ọ̀tá mi dá mi lọ́lá. Ṣojú ọ̀tá mi dá mi lọ́lá lóde. Níṣojú ọ̀tá mi dá mi lọ́lá.
Okay, we are going to start any moment from now, and we are beyond scheduled time, and we can for people. We believe they will join us very soon. So let's our three be always three. So it is part of commitment as well. So that's that. Okay. Can we all move forward a little bit? Uh, okay, let us move forward a little bit. And the wise in the building, and we are starting already. So our people will be joining us as we proceed. As we proceed. Okay, I would like to bring forward and Comrade Afsat over here, and Comrade Amzat. Come and sit so that feel relax a little bit, and Comrade Queen, so that I won't feel like I'm the only one here. So you can just sit. Okay. Okay. Let us be on our feet. Let's be on our feet as we take the national anthem. DJ. Thank you for that. So I will hand over the mic to Comrade and Afsat. She'll be the moderator for today.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. We are okay. Good afternoon once again. We are pleased to have you. The next of the moderators. By my right, I have okay, the coordinator of Oshodi Mature League. Who are we?
My community, my pride. Oshodi, my community, my pride. Oshodi, my community, my pride. We want to appreciate God for granting us this opportunity to be here this afternoon and to discuss about the progress and development of our community, and which God also appreciates, and our maker also involved in growth and developmental projects, and that is why we also have to be in that concourse with him. I want to welcome us into this gathering this evening as we discuss the growth of our community. And we want to appreciate everybody seated here this afternoon, leaving your time, your comfort environment to be here to discuss about millions of people that are about to gain. It is a privilege to be in such gathering, and I pray that Almighty God will pay us back in full fold in His name. Thank you, everyone. And also, I'll quickly do a recap of what we have done so far. Oshodi Mature League, we have had 4 online sections since July up to now, and we are still pushing ahead. And it's a platform for everybody, as my colleagues has rightly said. It's a platform for everybody, irrespective of your beliefs, your political ideology, any groups you find yourself. This is a platform to push forward what will be a better gain for individual and for the community at large. And The first section, we discussed about who is the mayor. Now that we have a new mayor, so what next? After that, we discussed about synergy. That there's need for us to work together irrespective of where we are coming from. That whether we like it or not, our chairman will be the chairman for good 4 years, and we need to work together. In that 4 years, during the 4 years, we don't have any other option than to work with him and make him to succeed. But where it is necessary for us to call his attention, stand a grant to call his attention that our chairman, this is what you need to do, and this is what we are doing that the community are not happy about. And when at the point that he needs to be given kudos, we also do that to encourage him, because Yoruba says, "Ori wuwu, abi Yoruba dada." Yes, but I think you all understand what we are saying. And the third edition is we discuss about safety of our community, and we have the presence of one of the media head to the chairman in our midst. In that particular edition, we discuss about the security of our community. We make the chairman, we call his attention about the motorbikes in our community without a licensed number. Some of them carry Zone D Mopo Area F. These are not registered plate number. So we want them to be identified with a particular plate. If there's any issue, this we can call attention to. And we talk about the traffic rules within the community, and I believe the representative of the chairman make us to understand that they are working on it. And while working on the street, we can see some of the things we discussed that the chairman is putting his energy towards that. That is one of the things we have achieved so far. And this afternoon, we want to discuss about coalition of civil society groups, organizations within the local government. We observe that we have a lot of platforms within our local government with different ideologies. Yes, it's possible. That is how democracy can be meaningful to everybody, when we have different opinion, different ideology, and still pursuing one particular goal. So if these organizations, if you can come together and push forward same goal, it may be from different angle, but achieving the same goal. And everybody primary objective in establishing a particular platform is that, okay, they need a developed community. That is it. If you ask this particular person, and we make it possible, and we try in our own best in inviting all admins of platforms, all leaders of platforms within the local government. And hopefully, before the end of this section, we believe they will. Thank you very much once again. While I hand over back to the secretary.
Thank you very much, Comrade Olawale. Yes, before I proceed, I think it will be very nice to introduce guest. That's not the guest speaker right now. Sorry, sir. We would like to know you. You can say wait.
Yeah, my name is Raymond Oga. I reside in Oshodi. I'm a businessman. I'm a stakeholder in this community. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Raymond Ogar. I think he has also been part of our online meeting as well. I think the online meeting commenced around June, July. And we really want to appreciate you for all your contributions. We also have a very powerful comrade in our midst. Well, probably I would allow him introduce himself.
Hello.
you can talk, sir.
My name is Dada Babajidu Razak. People call me the wise one online, and I'm the former chief press secretary to the local government, to Honorable Idris Balaji Muse Ariyo. I reside in the local government as well. I have a business in the local government also, and I'm a stakeholder as well. And I believe there is an avenue for all of us to come and exchange ideas. Government is a continuous thing, and no government is perfect. They only work towards perfection, and it is by our own contribution with ideas that will guide them to perfection. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. He has also been part of us since the inception of Oshodi Mature League. He has been very active, and he was also a very proactive chief press to the former mayor of Oshodi Solo local government. We are very pleased to have you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, so I would not waste much of our time. So let's head straight to the big fish in the house. That's our guest speaker in the person of Mr. Femi Adeyeye. He's a social crusader. Sir, please, will you please join us on the high table? Thank you. You're welcome, sir. So you're welcome once again, and our topic for today is building coalition with rooted organization. And our guest speaker in the house will be doing justice to that. Thank you. So I'll be handing over the mic to the guest speaker so as to tell us much about himself before we proceed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I was thinking the introduction would come maybe first before we move fully into the discussion, and I think that's what he just did. Okay, so my name is Femi Adeyeye, a human rights activist. She said social crusader, right? Okay, you are correct. And I can also hear a lot of persons introducing themselves or addressing themselves as stakeholders. I think I have a stake here also in Oshodi. So we all have stakes wherever we live, because I understand that where there is injustice to a particular man, there is also injustice to every one of us. So if a particular community is not in peace, all of us, we are not in peace. And that's why I said I also have a stake in Oshodi. I think that will be enough for introduction, and as we go into the discussion, we would do more of, expatiating more on who we are on this part of the table. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, I think probably we'll recognize someone just walked in. So please kindly introduce yourself, sir. Okay.
I'm Abioye Adeyemi. I'm born and brought up in Oshodi. I'm an engineer by profession. I have my office at Keja. I'm a friend to Galadima. He invited me here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. We're happy to have you. I think not to waste much of our time, probably we'll just begin the discussion. So over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. I do not know, I think I need to stand, first of all. And maybe at some point in this discussion, I may sit. Well, good afternoon once again. Engineer, can you help me? The bass on this mic is too much. I did not add that I'm a musician too, so I understand technical things when it comes to handling of sound. So can you just help me bring down the bass a bit? I want to welcome everybody to this very important discussion. Very important because this is the best time to have this discussion. There would be no better time than now for a lot of persons, to come together and then we discuss development. I want to appreciate the organizers of this very important discussion, Oshodi Mature League. I also want to appreciate them for inviting me. When I was being introduced, Comrade Secretary said, I want to introduce the big fish. I don't know where you guys got that address from. But what I understand is that we are all very important people. And what makes us very important actually is the fact that we understand our humanness. And we are taking time out of no time to come and have a discussion like this. In that same vein of appreciation, I also want to say we are where we are as a people today because we've left a lot of things untouched or unaddressed. One of which is that we were not taught anyway in Africa to be individualistic. Africans were not taught to be, or let me put it this way, we were not made. It is not part of our DNA to always think of ourselves alone. Those days, especially in our African Chiki Yoruba movies, we would always hear Agbole Bonitie. Agbole, we always talk about Agbole. Whenever we're discussing about ourselves, we discuss about ourselves in community. Nobody looks at himself as an individual element. We look at ourselves as communal. When we come together to do things, we do them, in community. But then the people who came to colonize us then had to come with so many economic interests to the point that you now have someone selling another person just for a mirror, for shades, for very mundane things that you will never believe can attract anybody. So, and from that time, the average African moved away from the idea of communalism, the idea of community, the idea of solidarity, the idea of coming together to discuss, to then become an individual element. Individual element to the point that all of us are now being reduced to survivalists. We are being reduced to what? Survivalists. The next person is looking at the way to survive. He does not care what happens to the next person. Everybody just wants to survive. So it is now a jungle kind of character. Man eats man. Dog eats dog. But we were not like that. But that is why I said in line of the appreciation, I also want to appreciate this number that has come out today to come back into that humanness that we can all come together as people of a community and think like community people. Please, if your hands are not too busy, you can just put your hands together for yourself because you attended this. All right, without further ado, I looked at the topic here, and it says building coalition with rooted organizations. The very key word here, the very first one is building. Building. And before you can build, you will definitely, because today is Sunday, so I may be sounding like a pastor at some point. Please permit me to do that. In the Christian Bible, it is written that before you build, you have to sit, you have to do some kind of costs. I think that's in the Acts of Apostles. Pastor Galadima, am I right? You've never been to church in a while, so so there is that part where it is stated that you have to look at the costs. You have to look at everything. What am I putting together? What's the building going to look like? How's the foundation going to look like? It's written in that scripture. So that is the first thing. What are we building? So what are we building? It's also in the topic that we are building what? Organizations. I thought it's behind me here. We are building organizations. And then I ask the question, what kind of organizations are we building? That's the first question. And you see, please, this is going to be very interactive. We are not doing definition kind of discussion here today. I will not start like one of my lecturers at the University of Lagos. He used to teach project management. And he will ask you, what is project management? This man, for those who know him, and I know for those watching, you can go and do some research about him. Permit me to digress to this man. His name is Professor Idoro. Professor Idoro will come to class and he will not teach. He would want you to teach him. Yet he's the course lecturer, but you will be the one to teach him. And then he will ask you, what is project management? And then we'll start. Project management can be defined as the management of, you say, no. How do you define project management? And management is in your definition. You say, no. Take it out. Okay. Project management can be defined as the process. You will say, what's the process? You will not finish that definition. You will say, what's the process? You say, okay. Process can be defined as moving from point A to point B. You will say, what is point? That is the way this man, and if you explain point again, you will pick from that definition and they would discuss another thing. So in that digression, what I'm trying to say is that today is not going to be we are not doing definitions and all of that. We want to discuss as a community. That is why it is called a round table discussion. And so when I was invited to this place and they said it's an I table, I was like, wow, I was expecting all of us to sit around this particular table and then discuss. But be that is me. The question before us here today is that, what kind of organizations are we building? That's the first thing. After that, we'll look at the root word of organization, which is organize. Before you talk about organization, you must talk about organize or organizing. So what are we organizing? Who are we organizing? These are salient questions that we must all, discuss here today. The third thing, because we do not have enough time, is the word rooted. In that topic, rooted organization. And then I ask myself, rooted in what? These are things that we should all look at. Rooted in what? What roots? There are so many organizations today in Nigeria, and they are all rooted in different ideas, different ideals, different mode of operation, different methods. But as a community, and people who have agreed, or let me assume on your behalf that you have agreed to be rooted in engagement for development. Am I right? Can I assume that we want to be rooted in engagement for development? Okay. Because these days I don't want to assume. I don't want to assume. You assume too much in this part of the world. This is a country where anybody can sit anywhere, and there are two things we do so well in this country. One, we draw data from our head. Somebody will just sit down somewhere and say, 90% of Nigerians are thieves. And you would ask, where did you get your figure from? Are thieves. And then you ask, where did you get that data from? Did you do any statistics? And we are very good in data and assumption. And that's why I said, I want to assume first of all, and then ask you a question. And I got that reply that yes, we want to be rooted in engagement for development. And if that is the case, how are we going about it? That's another thing. How are we going about this engagement for development? I understand so well that we are in Oshodi, Isolo local government. And the coordinator of Oshodi Mature League, in person of Comrade Galadima. I've even forgotten his names, Comrade Galadima. What government should look like, ideally, anywhere in the world. I was in a discussion recently on Clubhouse. I don't know if you know that app, Clubhouse. So we are having this discussion about politics and everything. So I made it very clear. I said, politics, as we understand it in these parts, is you belonging to a political party. We have reduced politics to being part of a political party. It is not so. Politics is about policy. It is about being part of policy discussions. Let me tell you today, you may not believe, what we are doing here today is politics in itself. But because the idea of what politics is has been so bastardized over time, so when we get politics, what comes to our head is that, hey, that man is an APC man, that man is a PDP man, that man is an AAC. No, that is not it. Politics is about policy. And let me explain how I understand politics to you. This is not a digression, it is part of what we are discussing. This is politics. I have this phone here with me, and this phone is our commonwealth. It is our economic resources here. How many are we here? Okay, we are, let's say, 30. Now, all of us, we want to share this commonwealth. This phone, which is our economic resources. This is the only thing we have. So, 30 of us, we need to share this thing. It is then we start, making some calculation. Okay, should I give the battery of this phone to the youths? Because maybe the youths, they are very energetic, so they would need energy. I'm just, permit me in literal terms. Okay, do I remove the screen guard and give it to the elderly? Because at least they're already dying. So what they need is to just look at themselves and, I'm just trying to sound very literal. Should I give, what else? The volume button to the children? So you start making decisions. Are we getting this thing? You start making decisions on one thing, which is our common wealth. The act of making those decisions is what you call politics. It is not being part of a political party. Let's start getting this. This is what we are not getting correctly in this part of the world, and that is why when people get to the seat of power, we leave them alone. We just leave them alone. I want to ask this first question in this house. How many of us partook in the local government elections in Lagos State? Did you vote? Okay. Wow. We have responsible people here. I've asked this same question somewhere, and a lot of persons did not partake in the local government election. That could be understood in two perspectives, which is that people are already, disillusioned in the whole process. You can understand that. The apathy can come from people are already, there is no incentivization, yes, in the whole thing. And you just feel like, why am I participating in an election that nothing, I do not get any, there's no dividend of democracy getting to me, so why should I be part of it? That is understood. The other part where we all can also look at is that the people that you are trying to put in power through elections do not see you as partakers in governance. Are we getting this thing at all? They do not see majority of us as partakers in governance. So who do they see as partakers in governance? The people who elected, the caucus. You know what you call caucus? The Oshodi language. I don't want to speak too much English here. Oshodi. I'm looking for Oshodi lingo. So those are the people they see as people who are partaking in governance. They do not see majority of you. And that is why when you see people who distance themselves from elections and all of that, you must understand it in these two perspectives. But what I'm trying to say in essence is that we cannot continue to run away from politics. And I think we now understand my own definition of politics. I'm not discussing partisan politics here today. Your membership of the APC or the PDP. My own definition, which is actually the ideal definition, is your participation in governance. How then do we participate? Our participation is making sure that we follow the process. The first process is, how do we get this person to power? How well are we following the process? Did we go through this? The person gets there. That's the first thing. Someone who got there through Godfather will never represent your interest. That is very clear. Somebody who got there through a Godfather, who got there through some calculation in Bodilon, you think we would have your own time? No, it's not possible. These are salient truths we should tell ourselves. Someone who got there through money politics would not have your time. In a particular discussion that I was having with some people, I told them, if you check the electoral amendments bill that the president is about to assent, it has been increased in that bill that the threshold to become president is now 15 billion. It was 5 billion naira before. So it has been times 3. What does that mean? That your spending limits, that's the limits. But you and me, we understand. 15 billion. Yes. So 15 billion, yes. So for your campaign and everything, we understand the level of electoral violence that happens during an election. And we know that normally these people spend more than even that 5 billion before. Now, it is now going to become law that you can spend 15 billion. And yet, because I was talking, yes, actually you may be not too young to run, but you may be very broke to run. Very, very broke. Now, in one hand, they've said, young people, you can come. Yes, you can come and come to the table. In another hand, they are telling you that you cannot come close at all. We just increased this thing to 15 billion. You cannot come close. Politics, where to get the nomination form, you are spending 25 million naira already. Nomination form. Oh, sorry. I think that's the first form. Expression of interest. You've not been nominated. You are only expressing your interest. That one alone, you are spending. You move to nomination. You are spending 50 million already. So how then do you expect the dividends to get to you? So these are issues that we must be part of the process. Oh, Simbe, you are deceiving yourself. You must be part of the process that brought that elects people. You must be part of the process. Part of the things we don't look at, talking about process. Somebody was saying the judiciary is in a mess. I said, are you part of the process of determining who our judges are? Has anyone, have you looked at this thing before? Judges, how do they appoint judges in this country? How many of us have you sat down and to look at, okay, how do they appoint judges? Yet you said our judiciary is a mess. It will be a mess. What about vice chancellors? How do they appoint vice chancellors? We don't look at process in this part of the world. What we look at is that, okay, the person is there, and then you start attacking the person. The person cannot overnight become a saint. Somebody who came through the mud cannot overnight become a saint. It is not possible. So that is the first thing. We must be part of the process that gets the person there. And when the person is now there, the next thing we must do is that we all must be watchdogs in our communities. You see, it is not totally true. It is not totally true that the person in position of authority can see everything. That's the truth. You know, especially when you come through a very warped process. You will have sycophants around you who would always tell you that, everything is going on fine. Don't worry. Someone said something, was it 2 weeks ago, told me that we should not be surprised that Buhari may be reading another newspaper in Aso Rock. They may be printing another newspaper. Yeah, this person who told me this thing is very close to government. He said, don't be surprised that Buhari may be reading another newspaper about this country. It sounds very funny, right? This same person gave an historical perspective of how it happened during Abacha. That Abacha was reading as in propaganda. So when they sit down in Aso Rock and they open the flips, they're flipping through the pages of newspaper, they are reading something else. But what is happening outside is another thing. It's very possible. But our duty as members of this community is to make sure that we become watchdogs for everybody. Anybody is in position of authority. Be it the chairman, the vice chairman, the councillors, everybody. We must become watchdogs to make sure that the right things are done in our community. The right things are done in our local governments. So that the development that we all are, we all yearn for, so that we can all achieve it. He mentioned, when he was making the welcome address, he mentioned, he gave an example of the security challenge of how Okada riders are coming with unregistered number plates and all of that. Yes, that is an example of being a watchdog, seeing how things are moving. Another way of becoming a watchdog is to follow the money. How many of us know the allocation like too much English, especially, we, the middle class, quote and unquote, because presently in Nigeria, the middle class has shrunk. There's no middle class anywhere. The only people who are middle class are the people who can now afford cooking gas. If you can buy gas, in fact, the EFCC should be looking for you. If you can afford gas, if you can buy foreign rice, global movements, that is Action Congress. And I also understand that at this part of the table and at the other side, we have different organizations, people who have come from different organizations. So how then do we find what I call the lowest common multiple? We have several interests, several ideas, but we can still come together. Except, am I assuming that we can come together and then find a lowest common multiple? At least something that connects us. Or should we not come together, mean that, then we may just continue to we'll come and speak grammar this door. We go back into reality. Everything we are discussing here is idealism. Faced with what is happening. But I am here today to just do one thing. It is to bring what is happening into this room. So that we all can then, look at what is our problem as a people. Lowest common multiple of our problem and lowest common multiple of the solution. And it is in that understanding that I'm posting here today that the way out for us is to mass educate our people. That's number one. The first solution out of all of this problem is to do mass education. I put it to you here today, like I've said, I don't want to assume that a lot of Nigerians still do not understand that there is a problem. I know this may sound very strange. Why will you say that there is a problem? A lot of Nigerians don't know that there is a problem. And you can tell from your engagement with them. I have, had different discussions with different people at local levels. And when you're talking to somebody, the person is telling you that the problem is spiritual. Nigeria has been caused from the Garden of Eden. No, it sounds funny, right? That's the truth. Some will tell you that, our problem is that the curse that was placed on Adam. In fact, no, that Nigeria was, who was this one that killed his brother? Cain. That Nigeria was Cain. So I want to ask, who is Abel? Is it US? Or is it China? And seriously, they will show you the movement. How, when Abel was now killed, when God now forgave Cain, Cain now gave birth to some giants. Those giants are the giants of the world. They are China, Russia, US. I've heard a lot. You see? Okay, maybe if I have money, enough money, I will raise her up, establish businesses for her. She too will come up, raise another person. Some persons believe in that kind of idea. That, okay, don't even, leave the government. Leave government. Let's just develop ourselves. But I put it to you, I know so many of us also believe that. But I put it to you that 1,000 NGOs, 1,000 philanthropists can never do the work of one serious government. If that's the case, we can just, if that is the case, that what we have to do is raise ourselves, then why are we spending billions to prosecute elections? Nobody should be elected then. Why are we electing governments? Why are we putting government in place? If what we can do is individual prosperity, no problem. We should take that billions that we spend every 4 years on elections, or every 3 years, as the case may be, in any part of the country. We should not spend that money again. We should just put it into entrepreneurship. That's calm in this part of the world. Entrepreneurship. You get it? So, that is another diagnosis of the problem. Some people will tell you that our problem is the constitution. That we do not have a constitution. And that is that's the basis of the arrangements in any country. What brings us together is the constitution. Some will tell you that it's a fraudulent document. Some will go ahead to tell you that we should not even have elections again in this country. Another group of people will tell you that the way out, after looking at the problems, is a revolution. That we should have a revolution. Let's even shut down this whole system because it is not working, so that we can move as a people. So there are so many diagnoses of what's the problem. Everybody is diagnosing in Nigeria. All of us, we are doctors and nurses. We are all, in fact, we are lab scientists. We are just, if you want to know today, walk into any bar where men are drinking, and just sit down and say, Oro Nigeria. Don't just say Oro Nigeria. Don't continue the discussion. You will see how people will be analyzing Nigeria for you. But if you cannot do that, if you want to do another part of it, go to the newspaper stands in the morning. You will see a lot of analysts analyzing Nigeria. They will analyze Nigeria and you'll be like, wow. So we have ideas like this in this country. So there are so many diagnoses of the problem. But as a clear-headed intellectual, we have looked at the whole thing and we understand that the problem of the world actually is unequal distribution of wealth. That is the problem of the world. At the beginning of this discussion, I was talking about the economic resource. I think you can remember this phone being the commonwealth of everybody and how we have to divide it and all of that. That has been the problem of the world. Where people who make wealth are not enjoying the wealth. And there are closer examples. Someone worked for 35 years. The person does not have pension, gratuity, nothing. They will still have to go and, queue in the sun. Yet somebody just became governor 4 years. And for that reason, he has, I think, has it been abolished? They said they are working to abolish it, but I don't believe that. They didn't abolish it. They just, so as a governor, as a former governor in Lagos State, you are entitled to a house in Lagos and in Abuja with a worth of 50 million naira each. I think, if I'm not making a mistake, you can search this. You have free health care, even though they are not using anything in Nigeria. You have security. You have so many things just because you were in an office for what? 4 years, where you said you serve the people. How does a servant enjoy more than the master? So you can see the irony around this whole thing. Yet you have somebody who worked for 35 years. Owo pension ego, what to ya? I don't know, did you hear about that? That they borrowed from the pension. They borrowed people's pension. I was talking to a very close relative of mine recently, and he was talking about, he is in the police, a retired police officer. And he was saying, maybe they should even remove the police from what they call the contributory scheme. pension contributory scheme where that the police is in. Do you know what happens to that scheme? They are taking money from your salary to keep for you as your pension. Am I correct, Mr. Press Secretary? So they will take from your salary, keep for you. This person joined the police force in 1986. The contributory scheme came into place in 2004. I think Obasanjo, yes, 2004. So he retired in 2021. So the calculation of his contributory scheme is from 2004 to 2021. That's how many years? 17 years. So the 18 years from 1986 to 2004, where is it? It is unequal distribution of wealth that is the basis of our problem. Because if we do, the first problem is if you don't know the problem, that's the first problem. We must understand that that is the problem. The reason why everybody wants to go today, wants to leave Nigeria, it is unequal distribution of wealth. Nigerians are not, in fact, we are impressionable people. Allowed to digress a bit to this part of this discussion. We are impressionable people. Nigerians are not so, we don't ask for too much. We don't ask for too much. Let the average Yoruba man be able to go to his farm, do his farming and go back home safe and sound, and he's not being killed by bandits and headsmen. He is fine. Let the Igbo man be able to live anywhere, and he will not be threatened that they will throw him into the lagoon because he did not vote in an election. Let the Hausa man be able to do his business. Let him be able to, and everybody will be fine. Nobody would want to leave this marriage or this union, this forceful union. Nobody wants to leave. If there is equal distribution of wealth, which is what we call economic and social justice. If you have all of these things in place, there will be peace. So Nigerians do not ask for too much. In this part of the world, rulers still come to us every election and tell us that they will patch roads and people will still clap. Nigerians don't ask for too much. If you go to the US and say something like that, you'll be stoned. No, did I just say stoned? You'll be shot. Because they move with guns. If you go and say that kind of thing in New York, that don't worry, I will fix water. They've left that stage. That's the truth. They've even left that stage. What they are discussing in the US now is, health policy, gun control, very fanciful debates. But in the 21st century, we are still discussing how to, roads, give us lights, the jaw, no. But that's what we are still discussing in the 21st century. What we are still celebrating in the 21st century is train. A president of a country left Abuja to come and commission a bus stop. And we feel that is still cool, you are working. Won't she share? Man, she share kilo she. Da city. Tani. Show where no vision. Then you ask questions. Show where no vision. No doubt city. You see? But I don't want to bore you with all of this rhetoric. These are the things glaring us in our faces. But how then do we move away from this? It is to come together like this. And I've listed the first thing, is to educate ourselves massively. Let us move away from, our comfort zones. For me, I still see a place like this as a comfort zone. And this is not in prejudice to the people who organize this. This is cool. But I think now that Nigeria we are in a state of emergency. Anything can implode in this country now, and the whole country is gone. So at this stage that we are in this country, we should be having discussions like this in open places. In open places. We should be having discussions like this even in garages. We should have it in markets. We should go with leaflets that educate people about the problem and what is the solution. We should move away from talking above the heads of our people. That's what we've been doing over time. We come and we say things they don't understand. And when when you are talking to me in another language that I don't understand, I do not even see any connection. And so the average woman who cannot go on YouTube, who does not understand WhatsApp and all those things, does not see the connection in what you are discussing with our own life. When we were doing protests in the student movement, we used to go to whenever, and this is a tactical, I don't know, okay, we have a government person here, you can go and tell them in the government house, well, there's no problem. So this is what strategy we do. When we notice that we don't have enough energy, I'll be wrapping up in 2 minutes. When we notice that we don't have enough energy or we don't have enough mobilization for a protest, what we do is that we then go into education. You know, protest normally, you go out, you protest, you block the roads sometimes, you know, you just want to call the attention of the public, especially the rulers. But so I'm very careful, I don't want to use the word leaders. You call the attention to what's happening. But we did something in Ogun State. Was it 2018? Yes, 2018 ASU strike. When we saw that, okay, we did not have the mobilization like that, we just went to the motor parks. We went to the market. Ẹ̀yin mọ́mí, ìjọba fẹ́, wọ́n ti dé o, wọ́n fẹ́ gba àjẹlẹ́nu yín o, they want to do this, they want to do that, they want to send us out of school, where they want to increase school fees. And these are, you know, truth. They want to do this, they want to do that. We told them, orí àwọn ìyá yẹn kọ́, yéé, ìjọba wo nìyẹn, ìjọba mọ́sùn ni o, Do you know that it was more powerful than our protests? We've been holding protests in Ogun State. But that action, we went to the market, we went to Kuto, we went to one market in Ijebu Ode too. And we were educating those women that, tẹ́ẹ̀bá jíde, nílé ìrànwá lọ, iléèwé tẹ́ ìrànwá lọ, nílé sanwó school mọ́, nílé ṣe báyìí, irọ́ o, nígbà. The governor ran to the radio station that evening. Governor, that normally we will go to his office, we'll go and protest and will not come out. He ran to the radio station. Some people are going about. They want to destroy his government. He was jittery. Because what? They fear education. Because when you educate people, people are liberated. Are we getting this thing at all? When you educate people, they are liberated. You cannot chain an educated mind anymore. So when we were speaking to those women in the language they understand, we were showing them the connection between how we are suffering, how they are also suffering. So they saw it very clearly. And they were ready to do anything. We've had protests before that NURTW. You know, most times we just think those, you know, when we hear NURTW, we think they are touts and all of that. NURTW is one of the most powerful unions in this country. Very militant. No government can mess with that union. Forget they don't have time for all this Dogoturenchi that have been speaking since. Their own is that, maybe park ni, law. And the government will start, no, you can't mess with them. Because what? There is solidarity. There is solidarity. They understand the issues. You see, so we must come to that point where we educate people massively. People understand what we are saying. It is at that time they can connect. And it's at that time we can begin to build organizations of like minds. So that instead of one person facing a particular issue, if we have 10 persons facing it, it gets, you know, we can even delegate issues, delegate tasks rather. Okay, you, this organization, give us a letter to the local government chairman tomorrow. We need a letter on the state of security in Oshodi Solo local government. Put up this letter. Then they bring it, everybody signs it, and then send it. Immediately the chairman sees, and he sees like 30 organizations. Did I just say 30? 50 organizations. This is something that must be attended to. It is until the people in power, they fear those of us who are actually the power. We must understand that we have power. But if we do not understand this, they will keep riding on us. Just feel those people. But when we understand the power in unison, the power in solidarity, there is nothing that we cannot achieve. And I will end it even with what is in the Bible. And seriously, I'm ending it this time. I know already you've heard ending like 5 times, sorry. But I'm ending it this time. What happened in the Bible? People at the Tower of Babel, they were like, okay, let's start building this thing. I want to get to God. For me, I do not believe that thing really happened. I know it's a story of fiction, just to teach unity. And so they started doing it, and God said, no, if we allow these people, even God saw the power in unity. That if I allow these people to continue like this, there is nothing, if you read that part in the Bible, he said, nothing will be able to stop them. Because what? There is unity. It is that lesson we must take away from this place. First of all, understand the problems, mass educate the people, and then we unite ourselves under what? The LCM of our problems and the LCM of our solutions. It is then we can continue to move on the path of progress and development. I think at this time I would yield, and if there are questions, I will take them. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much, guest speaker. That was a wonderful lecture. I would like to recognize the presence of, I think we had about 2 guests that walked in. So I don't really know her, but my colleague just mentioned her. I would like to recognize Evangelist Adeshola Oriyomi. Ma, I would like to meet you.
Hello and good afternoon, everybody. All protocol staff. I just come to see what's happening here and the discussion that is going to go on how to improve our people and the society at large. Thank you.
You're welcome, Ma. Though I've been following some of your contributions on some platforms, and I would like to say I'm always very impressed. You call a spade, and always the truth. Thank you so much, Ma. I think, sorry, I would like to recognize you.
Comrade Ashai Moses. Comrade Ashai Moses from Tiki Park Movement.
Okay. Yeah. What happened? Okay. Is that working? Okay, sorry. We'll be heading for, if we have any question for our guest speaker, and also contributions and suggestions. Thank you. Okay, Comrade Queen.
Good afternoon once again. Sorry, Comrade Device, before we proceed, because of our time, we don't want to take much of our time. We are rounded off by 5 o'clock, and this 4:30. Now, so we have just 30 minutes more to do everything we want to do. Okay, thank you, sir. We would like to take, I'm coming, sir. We'd like to take contributions. First, let's take questions if there's any for the guests. After that, we take contributions, and after that, we take suggestions for our mayor. What is going on in our community? Like I said earlier, today is centered and brought down to our community, because that is the main objective of this platform. And we have a better community. We enjoy it. Chairman will not even enjoy up to 10% of what we are going to enjoy, because we are going to make use of those facilities, of those equipment put in place with our own collective effort. So I will allow Comrade Dewise to make contribution.
Thank you very much. I think I'll first applaud the guest speaker. You giving justice to the topic, and I will not really want to stress you more. But I'm going to take my own contribution down to our local government, so that we'll be able to understand the issue perfectly. In this local government, for whoever that knows me very well, I'm an online person, I'm a journalist, I'm a media person, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm many things in one person. Yeah. Okay. Coming down to Oshodi, so I need to first recognize. I always enjoy your contribution online on YouTube. If all the leaders can be like, I believe by now, Oshodi will have been a different team. Yeah. For all of us that are conversant with Oshodi, presently we have over 40 to 50 WhatsApp groups right now in Oshodi, where people engage, discuss here and there. But the irony of it is, out of the whole 50 WhatsApp messages, WhatsApp groups, you have some people in almost all the 50. Well, few changes from one group or the other. Then if you now ask me, what is the purpose of those groups? Because the topic for today is, we all want to find a place, a common ground where all of us come up, sit down, and exchange our ideas. But today, different platforms were formed for different reasons. And as a result, sometimes you get pissed off on many of those things. And I will tell you one thing. The problem with our people is, one, some of us, we've not gotten over issues from the primary election that brought all the people that are in power. That's the first thing. Secondly, we refuse to move away from politics and politicking after election. Once the government has been formed, it is now the duty of every one of us to ensure that government delivers the dividends of democracy to everybody. But our mentality is different. And again, intra-party wranglings is one of the things that is giving most people setbacks. Again, some people join politics, but they don't really understand the tenets of the politics. Because nowadays, since data is very cheap, some people just believe once they pick up their phone, they can talk anyhow, they can write anyhow, they can call anybody any name. Just because they are comfortable in their house and they believe, oh, project wants it here now, project wants it here now. And again, our people need education. We need to start to educate ourselves, just as the guest speaker has said. But most of us are slaves of our conscience. For example, if perchance Comrade Gana call for all admin people of different WhatsApp that, okay, on so date, come, let's discuss about this issue. For example, what you see here is just a reflection of what is in our people. 80% of us are just media champions. Nobody wants to come physical. Okay, you've been talking, writing, blah, blah, on WhatsApp group, on Facebook, on Instagram, on everything. Okay, now they said, come, let's come and discuss it. Come and meet different intellectual people. You say yours, I say mine, we now exchange ideas. Where are they? See, based on my own experience, many things have changed. And again, the people in government too, they should remember that once you become elected, you should be able to open your ears to public opinion. Let them bring to opinion to come and rule Nigeria. I bet you, people sizing. My favorite item in my house is my TV and my radio. Ask me why. I can listen to four news at the same time. As I watch CNN, I try to listen to Al Jazeera. I try to open my radio. Because nobody knows everything. Some people will come up with some ideas and you will start asking yourself that, why haven't I think towards this, whatever? And your conscience has been awoken towards that. So, but many things I don't really want to say much, but what are the solutions? The solutions is very simple. One, let all of us forget about campuses. When there is a government, being a member of APC doesn't mean I couldn't criticize APC government. Because government is quite different from campaigning. And again, it is the foot soldiers that will suffer the non-performance of any governance. So, if as an APC member, some people will say, no, you don't have to criticize, you don't have to whatever. And again, based on my own experience as CPS of the local government, I understand the game, and I know what it takes. When we newly came in, I'm not here to talk about anybody, whatever. But we face a lot of things from people. But we use our own experience and training to listen to them, hear what they are saying. And again, we find a way to now diagnose what they said. If Galadima told me that they've not tasked so-so road or so-so school is dilapidated and requires local government, whatever. Should I now respond to Galadima and start to insult him? No! The government media should find the right method to engage the public. That is the first thing.
Okay, thank you, the wise one. You still have time to talk. Let's give people. And I would like us to make it brief so that we can enjoy ourselves.
Wow. I remain my humble self, Raymond Oga. I'm from Cross River State, and I'm also a Lagosian. I have my license to claim that as a Lagosian, but you did not give me your daughter, Sha. So
do you need a daughter?
But I have one already. Okay. So wow. Why I like this meeting? I'm coming from a background as a junior chambers member, JCI, and I've lived my life most over 30 years in Oshodi. And, you know, I'm a militant, but I see almost everybody in Oshodi as a thug. Permit me to use that word, quote and unquote, because the environment and what is happening around us, though we have airports and other things which we are not leveraging on them, but something has made average citizen or youth in Oshodi to become a thug. Either you go to school or not, until you now work on yourself. Features of our parents too, with due respect. Some, the environment where they sell their trade because it's in the motor park, where they have this or that, it has influenced them. And until you go out and mix up with other youth outside or friends, you don't get to know what's happening. But when I come across this group, I'm also serving currently as the CDA secretary, the former council mayor chairman. I was in this meeting hall with him. But I'm also a politician, a minister. But because of my ideology and my belief, I look at issue. I don't look at the person or pride involved. Because now, as the speaker has said, there are a lot of problems happening in Nigeria that money cannot solve. Because money itself cannot solve the problem. In project management, you know, projects don't fail. It's the people that manage the project that fails because they want to cut corners. Now, I want to build the community we talk about, rooted organization. From what he has said, my own perception is, in this rooted organization we're talking about, we have religious leaders. Many of them, are they living up to expectation? It's because from his analysis, some saw it as if when they got to power, like many are clapping that the mayor is working. He's not doing Father Christmas work. That's why he's there. He should work. He's not doing anything from his pocket. He's not doing, no. He's there to work. So we should let him to work and make him to deliver excellently. And when he performs, we clap for him. And I want to beg this group should not be a mouthpiece for the mayor. No, we advise him and we criticize. Please, we are Nigerians. We are not visitors. The mayor, like the governor-elect of Anambra said, if somebody has not succeeded in private venture and is coming, he's only going there to come and steal. And most time in politics, we don't look at that. Raymond has money, and I can do he's money and we are dancing, singing Hosanna. And he gets in there. You know, the process, the speaker said, that process you don't need to pray. Muslim or Christian, forget it. God has played his own part. It's me and you. Small thing that we cannot understand because of most of us are behaving like cycle fans. We say, Ọlọ́run á bá wa ṣe. Ọlọ́run ti ṣe, èwo làwa ń ṣe. Don't mind me, ọmọ Igbo. Ọlọ́run ti ṣe títí ẹ, èwo làwa ń ṣe. Buhari, yes, he's coming from a process, a foundation. He has an upbringing, a family. He can't do magic up there. He has people around him. But most time, if I want to criticize, I criticize the president because of that office, not the person. Are you with me? And he has people around him who's supposed to be solution provider. See, I belong to, I challenge the House of Rep. I don't even want to write the EFCC until they beg me. Because for 4 years, he was in Abuja. No constituency projects. I worked for him twice. During the point of election, I'll tell my wife to leave the house. Akilo Day, is it not to call somebody to serve? Jagun now. When we have good governance or good person in power, it will make good policy. Good people will execute it. You and I will benefit. We have younger ones coming. High phone age. Those one was past our own. Our own, we say on social media, will never start. Those children coming, and they will ask some of us questions. Daddy, mommy, you grew up in Oshodi. The chairman can do became chairman. You say you know I'm Nana, they live for. What were you doing now? You know, the question will come, not that intentionally, but what are you doing with your time? Leadership and followership is what we talk about in community building. This conversation we talk about until they see themselves a member, a stakeholder, and follower. Maybe time we come, need to organize a forum where you bring in leaders and the followers, government and these stakeholders we are talking about. Many of them are not represented here, except mommy, who is a factor from the way you recognize her. Many stakeholders don't they need to be here. Adibin is a party where you want to bring Davido here. My God, you can't control the youth. But I like the way you target. You said mature league. It's not for crowd. We can have 2-3 people do a press conference at time to put the mayor at his toes. Let him be there working and give solution. He may not look at himself serving 8 years or 12 years. For the 4 years that God give you good health of body and mind, do the right thing and legacy. And I pray that the wisdom of God will be there for him. He's there to serve. He should see God's face, God's wisdom, irrespective of his religion. Then get the right people. He can get people from outside APC. The important thing is for excellence governance. For you to get good governance, you need the right people, irrespective of the party they come from. But the process that brought him there, I won't go far go say, Osha Moboshe J primary, Osha Moboshe Debe. So Amamelele, oh yeah. You know? But it's a work in progress for Osho the community to get it right. And his time is now. Male, female should be engaged. Not only male and female, young. All student union we have within our schools in Oshodi here. Let's try to look for them, those groups, bring them together. Some has gone abroad, they have made money. Because to restore and revive, build a better Oshodi, you also need money. After the planning, we need people that have made good money that will invest into it. And I know that it will get better and better. Thank you.
Oshodi, my community, my pride. Okay, comrade, I'm coming before. Sorry for that. I'm coming. I quickly want to make some clarification. And he proposed that this platform should not be a mouthpiece for the chairman. Sir, this platform is not a mouthpiece for anybody. It's a mouthpiece for the community. And we have been able to saying this. I received several calls before now. Since Monday, I receive call every day. Some people will come, they will make video call. They will hide their video. They're even asking. Imagine, this platform is not up to 5 months. They're asking who is backrolling, who is sponsoring. So why do you have to use this place for this program? Why can't you have this program outside the local government if you are neutral? And I told them, what we are discussing is community issues. My tax, your tax is used to build this place. So I have access to make use of government properties in as much we are discussing the community issues. Do you understand that? And I don't blame them. I don't blame people that are called, people that raise observation. I don't blame them. That is their own mentality. And that's their own reason. And what is happening in our own time now has not happened in Oshodi. Now, many people believe you can only be on WhatsApp and be ranting, and be ranting, and be ranting. What I believe is this. One, God gives life, and God can take life. No human being can take your life, in as much you are doing what is just. Even though if they take your life, it has been destined to happen at that period of time. And we will never shift our ground. We will never shift from our objective. Our objective is seeing a working society, irrespective of where you are. Many of them, someone called me on Wednesday. That one even, I was like, come, I need to see you one-on-one. He said, no. Even though if I invite you, you can't come to me. I said, do you live underground? I said, I want to see you. Because what you are discussing, I can't be explaining to you on phone. Do you understand? And the local government chairman do not give us 10 kobo. I'm talking of Honorable Kendo Al-Maruf. Do not give us 1 kobo for this program. The chief of staff do not give us 1 kobo for this program. The chief press, being that solo kid, does not give us 1 kobo for this program. So people that want to gather their weight or their rumor, maybe this platform is working for the chairman. This platform is working for the community. And I still remain, I've been saying it. If we see what we need to discuss, we will discuss it. What will happen is this: if we didn't breathe again, that is when we stop discussing what is needs to be discussed. So that's that. Thank you very much. Okay, and Comrade Moses, right? Okay. Thank you.
All protocol duly observed. Sorry for the late coming. Well, I really want to appreciate the body that put up this program. At least you are doing well. But I just want us to understand one thing. I want us to understand one thing. Reviving a society takes various of techniques. And I was born and brought up in Oshodi. And I don't know, probably from nobody has ever become anything in Oshodi that say, I don't know. You may not know me in person, but my name can never sound strange to you. You understand? But I know most of the groups created the been dominated APCs of a thing, and it's always some party. That's why many people like pulling out. Like my thing. My friend was a media to the chairman, media to the House of Rep. When they had me to pass kind of discussion, I was just marketing a party. Let's talk community, not party. But and this thing has been in the mind of many that reside in the country that their platform will always speak government. Arranging, if not for me, take it back, aware of it. Come out, is there any program here? Any kind of awareness at? And I think if we want to do something of such next time, we should just and do more. See, when we come on platform, people that rant on platform, they are not the solution. The day of when they will have to make decisions, you will not see them. They will be on the field playing football. When you ask them to come for the rally, they will not be there. The people, they are outside there. Those ordinary people on the streets. There are people that we need if we have to meet, not all these people that rant on the media. So that's why I don't really take the media thing serious. So at least I've worked for when I say many APC candidacy in Oshodi. It's not because of anything. I believe in democracy. Not where somebody will see this person go and do this, that person go and do that. To me, I don't believe in it. I always speak and stand. Even when my boss at any Yarawa for my, we can work. You can work for him, but me, I'm not doing it because even on several notes, their leadership have called me into question as a boy, come to foods. What I don't believe in, I don't believe. If you believe you are popular, you are good enough, you don't need to. Because public office is not something that it is a die to serve. If you have to serve, you must serve on things that at the ideology you believe that you can defend. Not something that you be at the forefront, then at the end of the day, you won't be able to defend what you were doing. So I stay clear on their issues. So, what's it called? The incumbent chairman aides have come to me on several notes that, come, let's have it with Oga. It's not my Oga. That is just, that is your Oga, not my Oga. So if you think you need me in your system, let me know. What do you think I can do? I have worked for no politician can stand for and say, sorry, I gave you 500 for 1 day. I have political party. I have spent my money to camp political party. You want the only dear. How we address your only form when we want to bring things together, we know how to do it. So I think if we want to do next, if I'm privileged, I think we should have a better turn up. So I have to submit here.
Thank you. That's a nice one.
Thank you so for all those for the contributions. Hello. Thank you. Okay. So, I just want to quickly respond actually to everything that has been discussed. I'm happy that we are in the same frame of mind, or frame of thoughts, actually. You see, when you're discussing community and the way we are discussing this, and we are looking at we are looking at how to coalesce, come together and all of that. It's as if we're trying to build from the bottom up. But this is it. The ruling idea in any society is the idea of the ruling class. And I'm saying this because he mentioned something about people accusing him that who is bankrolling this group and all of that. That is it. Why I mentioned, let me say that again. The ruling idea in any society is the idea of the ruling class. The ruling class we have today, what is the idea of that ruling class? The first thing is poverty. Another one is corruption. So, to the point that the next man does not see the other man that is doing something out of love. Nobody sees that in this part of the country or in this part of the world. That, okay, you can tell me that you are organizing something as big as this and nobody gave you money. How? Nobody would be. Because it's an idea that has been passed by the ruling class. Do we get this thing at all? It's an idea that nobody can do anything out of love for the community. How? As activists, we've been faced with so many things like that. Anytime we do any protests and the governor in that state is a PDP governor, we'll be accused that APC is the one sponsoring us. That was when I was a National Secretary of Alliance of Nigerian Students Against Neoliberal Attacks, ANSA. They will tell you, APC is the one bankrolling them. They will pay some people, they talk, they do everything. That does not change anything. We'll continue. When we go to APC states, I don't know, many of you must have seen that very popular video, Constituted Authority. Aha. We were the ones who did that protest against the late Ajimobi, where he said, "Hello, Momoyewa." So, when we did that one, the governor was calling for meetings. Hey, you people should come. And we are not coming. We are not going anywhere. That was when we got to the office that morning. It was like, Sheba won kon tiwa ba mi. You know, that some people came to him. Well, that be students now. That you people are just behaving like hooligans. And when you that be students, we were not asking him. But not should that be students. Very funny. The man said, they put on suits. And they, our professional students here. We told him, he said, those ones are professional students. What he buying? Who are those ones? They are members of NANS, National Association of Non-Students. What you call Nigerians? No, we call them National Association of Non-Students. They are professional students. So those ones will go with suit. They were calling us at that time, and my comrade Juwon Sonyalu, they were calling us, hey, the governor wants to meet you people. Let's have a meeting. That was a day to the protest. That's why tactics and strategy is very important. We foresaw it, that the governor will call for a meeting. And we made it very clear that nobody, we chose a committee, and we said nobody would attend any meeting. We saw it, we saw the whole thing. Because when you are having discussions about community and things like this, there are so many persons who are loyal to the establishment. You should be very sure of that. Except we want to deceive ourselves here. There are so many persons who are loyal to the establishment who will go there to give a breakdown. In fact, you'll be scared if you see the communique of this meeting. And what I mean by verbal communique. It is not a communique, written communique. Verbal communique of how this meeting started from 3:15 and it ended maybe around to 6. They will give the breakdown to who they are loyal to. But those things are very clear. So who were those ones who went to the governor? National Association of Non-Students. And he paid them close to 1.8 million naira. That's what we heard. How many of them? Just 7 persons. If we wanted to go for money, I and my comrade at that time, we will not take anything. In fact, the whole money they gave to those 7 persons will be what one of us will take. Even at that protest, I want us to understand so that we can understand what we are up against. If you don't understand the battle, you will lose even before starting the battle. What was I saying? The other comrades at the protest ground, this thing is still on YouTube. After finishing the protest, one of us who was with the whole arrangement and all, still went to meet the governor. After we disgraced the governor and everything, went to meet the governor in the car and said, hey, we mobilized people to come and protest and we need transport fare for those we mobilized. I was like, no, when we heard this thing later, we were like, you came to protest against somebody. You are still going to meet that person for transport fare. They call it demobilization fee. That you want to demobilize them. And then it took 500,000 naira. That was the sum that time that the governor gave to him. The media aide to the governor was trying to talk to me at that time, but I said, no, we are not discussing anything here. What happened with that 500,000? Immediately came out of that vehicle. Some other guys who saw him were like, those ones too want to share from the money. See, we need to understand our society. It's a peculiar society. Nigeria is different from every other country. Any idea that works in the US and then you bring it here. See, we have defied all logic, all known logic, all economic theories and everything in the world. This place is a very different place. So those ones too want to take from that 500,000. And so they just told him, one of them just dipped his hand into the envelope, took some bundles. The money was now with him. I think maybe half of the money, took one of the bundles, saw some people threw it up. So people were... So those ones were trying to pick anything they could lay their hands on, and he used that one to just, he ran away with the money, half of the money. And so this comrade of ours was not telling us that later, when we confronted him, that what kind of nonsense is that? He said, comrade, you know, you have tried. We also need to relax. You see? So it is an idea of the ruling class that nobody does anything for free. Nobody does anything out of love for the community, or you want love for progress. No. Nobody. So we've been over time, you know, and it would continue. It would not end until the idea of the ruling class. Don't forget that statement. That the ruling idea in any society is the idea of the ruling class. Until that idea of the ruling class is upturned, and you have a system that will make sure that even the worst of us will be pruned by the system. That answers the first question, first observation. So the other observation, you mentioned something about having good people in government and all of that. Yes. There are two things I want us to go away with, and I'll end this way. When it comes to electoralism, government, governance, and all of that, there is a what to change question, and there is a whom to change. These are two things. Whom to change and what to change. Whom to change talks about the person. Who are we changing? You know, when APC came in 2014 and told us, APC change, APC, and everybody was shouting change, we did not really, you know, interrogate the change. Now, what's happening? What kind of change? What are you changing? Who are you changing? Nobody negotiated, because at that time, the APC was the darling of everybody. We should not lie to ourselves. It was like, if a goat had contested against Jonathan, Nigeria would have voted that goat. It was that bad. We just wanted PDP and the 16 years out of power. So, what I'm trying to say about the womb to change is that you can change a corrupt person, put an incorruptible person. You can change a person that is weak, maybe sick, put a person that is LG. You can change a person that cannot talk, put someone that can talk. Those are, you know, personal things. But if you do not interrogate the what to change, if you like, have the incorruptible person in the corrupt system, that corrupt system will finish that incorruptible person. So if we do not change the system, is somebody getting this thing? If you do not change the system, if you like, put, I don't know, I don't want to sound blasphemous, but if you like, put a Jesus Christ under that system, a rotten system, a system that does not respect human rights, a system that does not respect judicial process, a system that, as we are speaking here, people are stealing from Nigeria. As we are speaking here, unabated, everything is going. It's a process that has been, it's a process. In this country, people have loaded water in oil vessel, water, and they presented it to the government that is oil, and they collected money, they collected subsidy for water. And what are you talking about? They collected, and what did they do with the water? They took it back to the ocean, offloaded the whole thing. This place is a very interesting place. So, there is a system in place that is corrupt. It is that system, and Jonathan helped us with a theory. He said, when you put yam before a goat, what do you expect the goat to do to the yam? He will eat it. I love that theory. Jonathan was telling us, you people put food in our mouths, and he said we should not eat. Do you think we are sick? So what do we do with that system? It is to make sure that we do not put goats where there is yam. I don't know how you want to interchange it. Take yam elsewhere. That is just it. And then you settle it. So that, look at America as an example. Trump is the worst thing that could happen to any country. I know we may have Trumpists here. People who love Trump. I don't know. But it's the worst thing that could happen to any country. But the US system caged him. There are some things. Trump is that person that can stand before you here and insult everybody. Is that, power drunk? Is that erratic? Very ebullient man. He can talk, he can, energy. But there is a US system that makes sure that no, oh, ba yawere dollar. Oh, ba sinwin di ola. You cannot mess us up. And it is the legislative system, the judicial system. Imagine a president running to the judiciary. We all know that thing that happened before the elections now. That he went to the judiciary and to stop, I can't remember that particular process now. It has to do with the election. I can't remember clearly. And the judiciary threw away his case. Can that happen in Nigeria? Buhari will go to court and say, and you will now tell Buhari that he does not have a case. You won't wake up as the judge. You will not wake up. So there are systems in place that, in fact, if you are the most idiotic person, that system will cage you. I don't know how to look for that in English language now. It will prune you. You will reshape. The system will make sure that you are trained. And that is what we all must work. So it is not about having a good person. Good person, it is good, but we must all work for what a good system. Strengthening of institutions. So that even if you have the worst person, the institution will take care of that. And I think that also answers his own observation on how we have to come together. I mentioned what you also said, Comrade Ashai, about how we must go away from social media. Social media is doing a very good thing. It is from social media we understand many of these issues. Anybody who comes to tell you that social media is not working is not being truthful to himself. The APC got to power through social media. Nobody should. But it is that same social media they are trying to attack now, to kill, because they know the power of social media. So social media can do a lot. But social media is just a means to an end. It is not the end in itself. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir. And I quickly want to also add to what Comrade Ashai said. We are able to do our best, and we write invites to all, at least like 15 admins in Oshodi. The Anu Lariba groups, APCV, Oshodi Progressive Voice, Political View, Oshodi Young Leaders Initiatives, Democratic Clinics, and so on and so on like that. We are giving letters. Even the Take It Back movement. I'm also a member of Take It Back movement. Yes, now I'm Comrade Galadima. We have been hearing that name. Now we be able to do our part. And what I believe is that I don't like working with multitude. I love few people with great and mature mind. Like I'm push. If you want to push, let us push. So that's that. So likewise, like from what we have been able to learn today, we are also going to engage people who are more forward on the streets, and which we are going to work towards that direction. So thank you. Oshodi, my community, my pride. Is there any observation or suggestions for the local government and chairman? And I believe this program is being live streamed on our YouTube channel, Oshodi Mature League, and people also are watching Oshodi Mature League on YouTube, and people are also there watching us live. And what we are saying, and the link has been sent to the media representative of the chairman, and they're also listening to what we are saying now. We are not doing a secret court here. We are not doing anything secret. We are not doing anything fishing here. What we are discussing is about community. It's about community. So if there's ideas that you want to get across to the chairman, so we have less than 10 minutes to do that. Let us suggest for the chairman. And also, we wrote to CDHR, Oshodi unit. We wrote to them because they also have a bigger task to do, because they are community for defense of human rights. And we can't be talking about human rights when the people that's solely involved in such objective are not here. But their coordinator take a permission. He's in Abuja. That's Comrade Ridwan Akibe. He's in Abuja now, but he said he will send representatives. So we're able to do our best. I will continue doing what we think is best for us. So thank you. If there's any, okay, we have just less than 10 minutes so that we can round up this meeting.
Yes. the suggestion for the on the issue of way forward, we mentioned about mass education. Many of the CDAs in this our community, which is the fourth tier of government, most times they only behave as if it's another political party or they're having party meeting. But with this idea we discussed here of mass education, we can take it to their meetings where they're having their central meetings. If you can do a flyer, address it to them, because the youth in that various community, that's where they discuss immediate and affecting the CDA at that level. We champion this proposal maybe to the mayor. Mayor now work it down to them so that they can be doing people-oriented education and program as it pertains to that particular community. That mass education will going to be will build a paradigm shift that will change their mindset from the way they feel. Because if you are to share money here or food, I tell you, you don't need much invite. A lot of people will be fed there, but most of these people in the community, you get them, they just walk in 3-5 streets, come together, they meet some every Monday or weekends. So we'll do this proposal across to them, and with this education, we'll first correct and educate their mind. Then gradually they will know that we are working together to restore and revive this community, which is our Oshodi.
Right. Okay. Comrade is one of a strong member of Take It Back movement. Nice, Comrade. AY.
Thank you. My name is Comrade AY. I'm not going to say much. I just want to re-emphasize what our brother said. Thank God for Oshodi, Major League, and Galadima and all his team that have been doing this. But in the real sense, it is the mayor, the chairman, the local government, people in charge of the people that are supposed to be regularly inviting the community for meetings. But, you know, the meetings that they will do or they have been doing is meeting with politicians, their friends, and all that. So I am throwing this out to the mayor that if you want the community to come together, if I want to discuss with the chairman, I want to look at him face to face and tell him the problem of the community. Call the people. All these, you mentioned that there are about 40 groups. The chairman has the capability and the ability to call those people, invite all of them to a all like this, and invite all the community. Don't share food for anybody. I'm happy that it's only water we are drinking. Don't share food. Don't give anybody money. Come and tell them you want to work. How do you want them to collect and receive their dividends of democracy? You don't work by the people, or you work in the people. You work with the people. Any work you are doing, see, I'm a very straightforward person. As far as I'm concerned, someone who is just joking in Lagos State is not doing anything. But he's doing something actually. But he's not doing anything with the people. It's just there. You don't understand. Someone is just there. The people are not feeling anything because he's not working with the people. So whatever work you are doing, you might be doing something, but the people are not feeling it. Because you are not doing your own. Just like a man in the home, a husband man. He just enter the room, he goes, the children are not feeling it, the wife is not feeling it. Exactly how our wonderful governor is. Just there. So I'm telling our mayor, don't be there. Be with the people. So and how can you be with the people? Regularly invite them for town hall meetings. Call every group, whether APD, PDP, AC, whatever name they are. Tell them you want to work. This is how you want to work. Listen to them. Do you understand? That is how the community can move forward. Don't hide from your people. Do you understand? Be with your people. Invite them. Listen to them. Let them challenge you. Let them tell you eyeball to eyeball. She share. Then you tell them, okay, Mashi. Then that's how a community will grow. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And while the discussion was going on, and person just entered. We'd like him to introduce himself.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Losibelo, or Osibelo. Thank you.
Okay. I think there's more. Comrade, do you have any observation? Community, my pride.
I want to say all protocol observed once more, and I want to welcome each and every one of us that is here. It shows that we really love our community, because it's not that we are here to share money. When I look at the issue of this community development, I usually look at it from a more advanced view, to the extent that some people were calling me not to be writing on the platform. Some were saying I'm now the friend of the chairman, and I'm neither a friend nor enemy of anybody. What we just wanted is a situation where every community will develop, where people will stop praising people, especially all these politicians. They'll be praising them as if they are using their personal money. They are not using the personal money, it's the government money that they are spending. And if you do it well, your legacy will speak for you. I just noticed that in this part of our world, they take people for granted. Maybe it's because of poverty and so on. Once a politician is there and he managed to just settle some people, and even the consequence, you manage to buy them Okada, Maruwa, you are doing well. So the detriment of the general public, the way they look at us, we Nigerians, they look at us as if we are just second-class citizens and so on. So anytime you try to speak the truth, how can somebody be turning road or whatever, and they put the picture of the politician that is doing it? They're supposed to stop all that. When you are already in a government, you are the mayor, you are whatever you are, whatever you do should speak for you. But what I even noticed among the ruling class is, like, for example, if an officer is doing one thing, another person will want to absorb and take the glory of that work. It shouldn't be. One thing I just noticed is, we are not talking even of today. We are talking about many years to come. The way this country has been governing since 1960 is what is affecting us today. And at the end of the day, the independence now looks like a mistake. If the white people have been ruling us now and the situation is like this, we will call it another name. It will never be apartheid. But when we now take our independence and we are in this type of slavery, if you want to go out, to even go out, you have to think, because it can wear you out. The roads are bad. Then we thank God for the mayor that came in, that is just doing whatever he's doing. Anyway, my own prayer for him is that, like I told the last dispensation, we are in the middle. Ajawo Estate is next to us. GRA is next to us. Why is it that Oshodi cannot compete in terms of community development, looks, with those ones? And it is only this expressway that divided us. The Muritala Mohammed International Airport and this Agege Motor Road. Yet, even we that have schools, we all do the same exam, the same way, but you cannot charge the same school fees with all those communities. Where you are charging 40, 50 in Oshodi, those people will be charging 200,000-300,000. And even the public school in those areas, you cannot compare them with the public school within. So why can't we be like them? We are even lucky. I told them on one of the platforms, the new transport flyover is a big added plus to this community. If the people in Ikoyi and all these areas can grab hold of it, in fact, we will need visa before we will get inside. My advice is, in fact, if our always prayer is God should give us a Moses, that if anybody should steal, they should be prosecuted. To come and govern is not a way to aspire status and power, and then people will just be looking at you that, hey, money is going there to make money. What money is that? You came out to say, yes, I'm ready to serve you. You are our servants. And yet, they will get there and start messing up with the government money, and everybody will be looking. And when it comes to another election, even the ones that is corrupt is the one they are still going to return, once he or she can bribe the people. On this note, I want to employ this our discussion and the organizers of this event, that we need to still spread out more and sensitize, especially the young ones. Everybody is running away from Nigeria. Even they are not listening to the stories of those who are coming back from Libya with so many stories. Some will look around and say, how can I make it? So, please, let us sensitize them more. If we can get hold of the 18 to 25, they can defeat these people in government. Because many of the electorates there, many of them are illiterate. Many of them, I'm sorry to say, because I don't want to offend anybody, but they are deep politicians, experienced ones that can sell you, even with your education. But if you are not a politician, I usually tell my students in SS3, go and join politics. We want to see good governors. We should be proud of our country. We should sleep. Look at what is happening regarding security now. Even to travel from Lagos to Ibadan now, you need to do fasting and prayer, because anything can happen. Even within our communities, people are still being kidnapped. So we need to be factual with ourselves. Let us be truthful. God will not come down to do what man can do. All those places, when I travel abroad, does this country, spring from the ground? Does it grow from the ground? Yes, it is being built by men and government. So what is happening to our country? May God help us in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Please,
Amen.
The organizers of this event, like our man rightly said, let there be a mass education. When people are educated regarding what is happening around them, and then if you want to really organize, let us take it beyond matured minds. A 13-year-old is a matured mind now, with all the internet and all this internet stuff. So let us try as much as possible, even if it is flyers, to be telling them what their rights are. What the Nigerian political ruling class, what they hate now, is a situation where people will know what is happening to them. They want to keep people in perpetual ignorance and be giving them banana as monkeys, when actually you can give them plants that they can grow and make banana and have exactly. So if there is no equality of wealth, then there is a problem. Everybody wants to be independent. So let us start the independence from individual person. You cannot employ somebody as a driver or as a cleaner in your house when everything is there. But they want to keep Nigerians as perpetual slaves. Okay. And that is where really it pisses one off and makes one sad. That how can you be in a society in which praise worshiping somebody, looking at somebody as if the person is God, is what is going on. May God build our society. Thank you.
Okay, and the wise. Okay, I think that will be the last observation.
Well, our protocol observer, I appreciate everybody who have spoken. We all have spoken well. My only contribution is this: I want the awareness of this program. By the next meeting, I want to see, just as Comrade, it might not be crowd, but at least it's reasonable numbers. And I volunteer myself that when next we want to have whatever, let's just try and see, then we see what we can do to mobilize. And again, I think we need to start to orientate our people and tell ourselves now that it's not about politics, it's not about politicking. Just as the guest speaker said, most of our people don't really understand what politics is all about. They believe once you're a politician, you are a liar. Once you want to play politics, you are playing politics of master liars. No, it's not about that. It's about my community. I belong to APC. I work for APC. And even working with government doesn't mean, oh, you go there to see money. No, it's just a service to your community. And then either in PDP, GPD, OM, whatever, once you are called, you are invited, have one thing in mind. It's just a service to your community. And again, we must start to tell everybody, including our wife and children, get involved now. Get involved now. Get involved now. And we should also encourage people, get your PVC ready. Get your PVC ready. Then again, let's create time to discuss politics with our children. Let our children know what and what is ideal. Because you can give unto somebody what you don't have. If you don't really understand what an ideal society is, you can orientate your people. Let's find a time with our family. To them, let's start telling them, don't do this, because there is one thing that I learned, that discipline starts from your home. If you look at all the environment is dirty. But who created those dirtiness, those things around? It's you and me. For example, sorry, just give me a minute. There was a time I saw a school children, after eating everything, he just throw the stuff on the ground. Come, go and pick that.
But government did not provide amenities or government to use for that. In advanced country, we see dustbins.
Comrade Galadima, let me tell you one thing. If you walk a meter in any street, there is trash bin there.
In Oshodi.
In this Oshodi, yeah.
Okay,
the one for all this PSP that they pick. But you notice that somebody, he will be looking at a dustbin like this. After eating this, he will just throw the stuff on the ground. But can you and I, if you start challenging people, I've done that in public bus severally. They look at me that, oh, are you just coming back to Nigeria? Are you a foreigner? I said no. Because what you treat down here, it's going to affect somebody somewhere where you don't know. So let the discipline start from you and I. Then again, lastly, this forum, as one speaker has said, maybe we need to make sure we invite people in government that they should be here. We are community. We want to talk to them. And it would be better for them to even do the right thing. I'm talking from experience. And that's why I said it would be good for them, because if really, and that will make you to become a changed person. God bless Oshodi.
Okay. Oshodi, my community, my pride. And on that note, we are trying to round off the discussion. And what the community wise just said now, we are trying down. And I think our physical meeting is going to be a town hall meeting. It's going to be a town hall meeting whereby all representatives from the councillor, I think we have 7 wards in Oshodi. From the councillors, we are going to invite them. And if they deny our invitation, we're going to use the power of social media to call their attention. We're going to use every means to call their attention. And if we have a working society, if we have a developed community, before we receive 1% of the glory, they will receive 99% of that glory. Eh? Yeah, do I spend? You don't even spend up to 2 years. We will not even know about his bad records, but at least people will say, yeah, that just look like maybe 1.5 years and just now. So we are going to, because they are there to serve us. And on this note, also, I would like I received a call on Tuesday. Someone said, you are not saying anything about this particular observation raised by this sort of people about there are ongoing projects in our community. The mayor is constructing some roads within our communities. And some people are demanding for accountability. And I don't have anything bad in that if there's no anything fishing somewhere. And people are saying, in as much we are not saying anything about it, it shows you are taking side with the chairman. And no, we are not taking that with the chairman. But we are using this platform to send a message across to the chairman that you have constructed 25 roads in Oshodi, listed according to your press members or media members. So the community deserve, and they deserve to know how these projects were being allocated, how these projects were being financed. And from even Nigeria as a country, if they want to construct a particular roads, they will tell you they are seeking loan from China to do this particular project. So we want to know where the fund is coming from. If it's going to be, for example now, if to construct roads in Oshodi, it's going to be all our collective effort that, okay, each house pay 1,000 naira. We want to construct this road. We know that our new mayor or our chairman is taxing us that he wants to construct this road. So that one is very clear. And the process is there. So if the chairman or the present regime are seeing it so difficult, or are seeing it from another angle that what the community are demanding is not necessary. Sir, it is necessary. It is necessary. It's just because we are not be doing this kind of things in this part of the world. Not even our community. In this part of the world, we have been watching, listening to town hall meetings from advanced country where a rep will come. I'm representing Ogoloko Ward 2. These are my plans. My community people, I want to spend 30 million naira on this particular project, and this is how I want to raise this money. Okay, these are the people that build for that particular project, and these are their prospects. This is what they have done in the time past. So we are using this medium to tell the local government chairman to please come up and be more transparent. He has been transparent enough based on his own capacity, but he should be able to do more on that line. So on this note, we want to appreciate everybody, and I'll hand over the mic back to Comrade Afsat. Comrade Amzat, you've not said anything since morning that we have been talking. You've not said anything since morning that we have been talking. He has been smiling so that we'll be on the same page. So Comrade Afsat, so I'm handing over back to you.
Thank you once again. Well, I think we are rounding up the meeting. So I would like to start by saying we specially thank our guest speaker in the person of Mr. Femi Adeyeye. Okay. And also sincere appreciation to our guests for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here for today's meeting and for sharing your contributions as well. We are convinced that we can thrive in an environment where we have people that care about the development of Oshodi Solo local government. For more updates, we on YouTube as Oshodi Mature League. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then we look forward to seeing you at our subsequent meetings. We are just starting, we are learning, and we'll keep growing. We really thank you so much. Thank you, and have a lovely day.
Let's rise up for the national anthem. Okay, DJ. My community, my pride.